So we're going to talk about polyatomic ions, which looks scary, but it's not. Usually, because the professor allows a cheat sheet or has a set amount of polyatomic atoms that the professor likes to put in. In my opinion, that's what happens with my test, anyways. But there's a certain idea if you have a polyatomic, you know, thing with oxygen in it. If the professor for some reason forgot one, you can kind of guess by how big the numbers are. It's not definitive. For example, there's one with the seven, I believe. I forgot what it's called. There's like one polyatomic with like um, CiO7 that has nitrate, nitrate, and something like that. I forgot. Also, there's some sulfate shenanigans with four, I believe, if I remember correctly, that are different from nitrite and nitrate, which is like two or three. So it's not definitive, but here's that's why I said there's a general rule. It's not really a rule. It's just a idea, a general idea you have to help, you know, say that this might be true. Therefore, it might be possible that I am. If you do this, this happens, right? Um, there's always things that break it, and sometimes you can define by hypo and die and try to figure out it. So, for example, I believe hypochlorite is one. So, like C is chlorine plus oxygen with a minus one in the anion or cation, anion. So it's like minus one anion. So for that case, there's another set of rules that you can think of, but generally, there's a few ones that you need to now write down over here because um, ammonium is the one I'm thinking about, which I misspelled wrong. Ammonium, we did generally talk about over here. Ammonium is a plus, and then you'll find out that there's really any pluses. There's usually a lot of minuses here, and that is fine. Another one that keeps on appearing on the test is nitrite and nitrate. Nitrite, which is I believe N2, and I would double check it, but I believe it is and two and a negative one, and I believe that's negative one. So that's nitrite, and nitrate is another pretty famous one. Um, by famous, I mean famous for the class, not really famous in real life. Um, for Mike, it was relevant in a test, I believe. I had this question, exact same question, where I have to do the shenanigans with nitrate and nitrite. Um, the other one was the hypo ones, which I don't remember the professor ever giving me anything like that. Um, but I'll put it in there just in case. Another one that he likes to put in was it I think it was general the oh I also need to put that in. I'll put that in later. Well, we probably need to put more rules in because we need to talk about the mono and HEPA and DECA, which I just totally forgot about. Um, well, another pretty famous in my the pretty famous thing that the professor gave questions on is this one. I don't know why, but she loved giving this one out for some reason. Um, oh, so this is chlorite, I believe, chlorite. Two negative. As you can see, there's a pattern here with most things. So it's actually two and three that gives you eight and eight usually, and then there is a bunch of other ones, but that's not always the case. There can be when there's two of them die and try for some reason. which is why it gets more confusing. But in general, we'll probably talk about them when we get to the question. But yeah, this is what I remember from my class that I took when I take Chem 6A. It was generally not a bunch of hard ones, but just simple ones that the professor cared about. And yeah, it was not that bad in terms of what I remember. It was generally just a chill class. Mostly because I learned most of it from my Miss Dutton, or which you will never know who that is. So I don't care if I say the name. I don't think she'll care. But I learned it in high school, most of it. So you know, um, it's not a big problem. It's just a pain in the ass to do all this shenanigans. It's not eight. It's eight. I believe this is eight too. Um, and then there's three, which is the next one over here. Yeah, I'm just a student. I'm still a student anyway. I'm just doing a travel on this function. I guess that makes sense. Anyway, yeah, I don't know. My voice might be muffled, but and it goes so on. It goes so on. I'm not sure how many I want to put in here, because from my memory, there wasn't many that the professor gave for me to memorize and to put into my equations and my notes. I know I put a bunch of shenanigans over here. If you look here and look over here, I put like nitrate, bichloride, oxalate, peroxide, magnate. But honestly, the professor just put a few of them down and said, "Yeah, that's the only ones that he gave us." But I'm just gonna put a lot of them down just because Oh, oh, no, I remember one. Sulfate. Sulfate was a big one, and oxide. Oxide. Yeah, oxide is a very oxonide or something. And why did that not work? Oxonide. I don't remember what it's called. Whatever. It's just basically O3, anyways. It's not bad. But yeah, I remember that being on the test question. Or was it on the test question? I think it was in the homework, actually, thinking about it. Um, another one that was peroxide, I believe, that I remember vividly that being on somewhere. Um, but generally speaking, I think it's on mostly on homework that was given. That wasn't really given in any test. Tests they stick with nitrate, nitrite, and carbonate, and I believe it's sulfate and sulfide. It was basically all the basic. They kept it basic. Um, they never made it hard for us. So, and there was a huge equation sheet to give anyway, so it wasn't that bad. Peroxide, yeah, yeah. I'm looking at this, but I already have my notes. This is my cheat sheet. This is the cheat sheets I used on the test. Um, yeah, these four are cheat sheets from my test. A lot of them makes no sense, but if you have the physical version, you can actually see it. I scanned it here thinking this would be helpful for me to look back on, but nah, just look at the physical version. It's probably better. Yeah, sulfite. Um, yeah, sulfite is super important, I guess, which is SO2, no, 4, no, 3 is O, 3 and 2 minus, right? Yeah, I believe that's correct. Oh no, that's not what I want. Okay. Alright, is there any more important ones I should take note on and make sure I write about? I think sulfate's another one that I need to talk about, which just has more oxygen in it. Oh, right. I think magnet was that one magnet, one of the ones the professor gave me. I don't remember her giving me any magnet. Yeah, most of this was useless, to be fair. Um, yeah, most of them were useless. I literally, oh, here's a better version because I cut most of them off because it's so useless for me. Ah, cyanide. Cyanide. Was cyanide really that important? I don't think it was, to be fair. I'll put it in here, but I think we have listed all the important ones. Uh, but I'll put cyanide in there because of how evil it sounds like. I mean, why not? I mean, I love some poison. Um, I love poison. Anyway, this is actually this is only a minus. This is definitely so. Do I want to put more down? I mean, I could. It's not that bad. Idate maybe. Idite. Oh, acidite, acidite, acidite. I'm definitely putting acidite in here. Acetate, sorry. Not because it's a very important one. If I remember correctly, it's actually one of the least important ones, but it was used to here for some reason. So it was like, for the solution thing for some reason. Um, yeah, if it's in the solution thing, it's pretty necessary. If it's not necessary, but was in there. It wasn't necessary at all. Actually, thinking about it, like perchloride probably should be in there. Well, but a carbonate should be in there. Yeah, if it's in there, it should be in here. Basically, that's the general consensus. Like if it's in the compound thing, you kind of want it to be here apparently, but yeah. Although you're never going to use it, you're never going to actually use it for the proper purpose of you know having it. Uh, carbonate. So that one. And after that, I believe we're done. We're basically not gonna put any more in unless I remember something that the professor put in that tortured me. Ah, chlorate, chlorate. Yeah, chlorate. Yeah. Maybe chlorate. Yeah, maybe one chlorate in here. Chlorate, chlorate, maybe chlorate. Which I know is over here, so follow my own rules, right? Um, do I need sulfate? Because it's a sulfate. Which sulfate? To be fair, you never use. I mean, no one uses this textbook. They use the textbook. They usually just look at the professor's slide and just yeah. All of this came from when I took this class. Yeah, so it was kind of useless thinking about it. Whatever. Do I want to add one more? Probably not. I remember this was in the this information was in the back of the test. Not, I mean, obviously I changed. I mean, this is from my notes. So I don't. It wasn't one to one, but when I went to the test, it was like in the back of the test. I was saying I didn't need to write down my cheat sheet. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, here it is. Yeah, for me it wasn't necessary. Actually thinking about it. So why am I doing this? Anyway, that's a general like. No, I don't want to put more in there. That's good enough, I think, for most classes. Unless your professor is a psychopath that loves to give like something ridiculous, like I don't know. And if the professor gave something like bromate, you can estimate and say that is, oh wait, that's B, probably O, and then three. You might not get the three the minus what minus it is. Like, you won't get the three minus. Actually, I just realized that you probably need this one because this is a special one that has B. I mean, did I ever talk about bromate? No. So let's just put three minus. Well, Anyway, disulfide. Do we need disulfide? Yeah, I'm adding too much. I don't think the professor ever gave bromate, chlorate, carbonate, acetate, or any of these fancy perchlorate. I think she only gave me nitrate, nitrite, sulfite, sulfate, maybe some oxides, but nothing else. Ammonium, she never gave, even though that was the one special one. Yeah, so I think I'm done here. I don't think I need to put more. But generally speaking, you know, that's you. If you think you need to add more, just Google up uh, per atomic atom, and you can find a bunch of them. I don't think she would care. And actually thinking about it, I kind of want to delete this one because I messed up on the writing portion of that one. Um, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, I could add one more. It will complete it. Um, yeah, I don't think he ever gave that one, so I deleted that one, and I should add one more left. So let's look for one more. I don't know, specific one that I can put in here. I don't know, like hypo. I mean, something that I think would be useful is phosphate. So let's put that one in. Yeah, only because I only think it's useful because it's already going to be in here, so the professor might use it. But generally, knowing my professor, she basically used like only a few of these for a test, so I don't think we need to. But because of general chemistry, so who cares? Who gives a damn? Okay, that should be good. So if I were to give one of these thermodynamic equations again, but instead of using basic ones, I use polyatomic ions. It would be just using the same formula with the polyatomic differential difference of the electron and using it. So yeah, I probably should figure that out later, but I think that's good enough, right?